Hello, hello. Woo. Is it working? Is it working? Yeah. They have to. So I will ask Charlie opening prayer so people they can get the food. Okay, thank you.
We didn't get to pick up our seaweed because we were
Tomorrow at the office, no problem. At the office tomorrow
What time?
from 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's there.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Charlie, may I ask you to bless the food and do opening prayer? Thank you, please.
You had to stand there and think of who I was.
No, I knew. I just didn't know. I knew. As soon as I saw you, I know you. Yeah. Please talk to the mic, like close. Yeah. So whenever you feel, let's go. Let's go. Thank you so much. Whenever you feel. Yeah. Yep.
Thing called this program. What's this program called?
It's a community engagement about the need for a good education. It's about deliver better services like education. Education. For the young children, youth, so we have good members, they can push the community. Thank you.
Have your attention, please. Remove your caps. We're going to say grace. Thank the food. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for this gathering, for the education, and we just thank you for the food, and bless the hands that have prepared it to nourish our physical bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
Time to eat?
Time to eat. And please, when talking, talk to very close to the
Very
mic.
close. Because I'm pretty loud
I know.
on my own. Yeah? Okay. I don't usually use microphones. They call me lots of nicknames. One of them is Boomer. But I guess I'll try. I'll try the microphone. I could be louder than the microphone. All right, folks, you know what I don't want to do? Stand between you guys and supper. So I'm so grateful that you folks have come out here this evening. We're going to just take a few hours of your time tonight to have some really great conversations around education here in the community, as well as a few other items, okay? Really important to get your feedback. Did everyone get a chance to do the survey? Are we kind of working our way through the survey? Excellent. It's so important that we have your voice in all of this. It's your community. These things are important to you, and so that's why your voice is so important to us. But right now, in my language, I come from a Cree community in northern Manitoba, so we would say mitsu. Mitsu is say to eat. How do you guys say let's eat now in your language? Okay, then let's do that. All right. How does this work? Do the women feed the men? No? I don't know I'm just going to give you pre-Cree protocol. Usually the women serve the men, but in this case we'll just all go get our food. Let's go. Come on, let's eat. Me too, me too. Hey, come on, let's go. Put on the feed bag, you guys. Look at all the bad kids at the back of the classroom. You know we're going to have to move you. You got to get up to the tables there. Hey, you're all hiding out. Hey, where do you get door prize? I am the door prize. I'm going to come to your house on Saturday, paint your house, and cut the grass. Does that sound okay?
My grass needs cutting.
Hey, does your grass need cutting? What does that mean? Oh my God. I saw a terrible picture. Oh my God! You know what? I gotta pick on Allison. Allison did that. We were fooling around yesterday, and not the real kind, but just kind of having fun. And then we were laughing, and she took that gosh darn picture. Hey, isn't that? Hey, no, come on, let's go have lunch. Come on, you guys. Hey, I come from Kinoseo City. It's close to the Impaskwack Cree Nation. But, oh, did you? Okay. I come from the Norway House Cree Nation. So we're a little further east from OCN, and we're a large Cree community, and right next to us is another big Cree community called Pimachikamak. Yes, that's what happens in Moose Lake. That's where the soccer team's usually in prison. Moose Lake's a pretty rough and tough place, and I'm not picking on them. I respect them greatly. But I'll tell you a story. When I was much younger, like a grown man but younger, I was doing a particular job, and it took me into Moose Lake. I get to Moose Lake one night. The chief says to me, I said, I'm going home after the meeting. I'm going to go home. He says, no. I want you to stay tonight. We're having a party tonight. Come to the party with me. I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do this. This is one of the few times in my life where I thought my life was going to be ended. So I'm in this gathering, and there's a gentleman sitting at the party, and he keeps looking at me with crazy eyes. Everyone's drinking lots and stuff. It's kind of wild. Anyway, at one point, this gentleman from Moose Lake lunges out of a chair with a knife and comes at me. They're a scrappy bunch there, aren't they? Right? Even their soccer team. So I'm in a big lazy chair like this, and all of a sudden this guy comes at me, and he's literally pulling out a knife. And I thought, oh my God, my life is flashing before my eyes. I'm trying to get out of the chair so I can do something, jump out a window, do something. And all I saw was this big hand come out of nowhere, arm full of tattoos, and like really rough. The chief had just gotten released from prison, Ralph Bassett-Capo. And so he was in there for 10 years on a manslaughter. So he grabbed that guy, shook him around, told him this is my friend, and threw him out the door. There's my Moose Lake story. I'm never going back either. I'm certainly not staying a night. I know that much. It sounds like is that what's a little wild over there?
Honestly, somebody told me don't ever go dance out there. Did I listen? No. Oh, somebody's going to come up to you and say, I heard you were talking about it. So there I was, like dancing. I heard you talking. All I could do was laugh that I was remembering what somebody told me, and I didn't believe it.
Okay, everyone have some of these. Holy. Is this a, hey, you guys, is this a traditional meal?
I don't really know.
Hey, buttered chicken.
Wild chicken.
Those are different Indians.
Yeah.
Those are a whole different group of Indians. Hey. All right, everyone settle down over here. That's it. I'm not hanging out with Allison anymore. That's it. Allison. She's dead to me. Hey?
Was it the picture?
Oh, it's on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh my word.
Oh, my word is right.
We need a picture of this. We have to screenshot this.
Hello, does everybody have their tickets in? Okay, we're doing 2 draws for $50 cards. We'll do the first draw.
Holy, am I the most honest person in the room? I don't think so. Hey, you're one of these little people here to pick. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Is there a name on the back?
Oh, that we go with a name. Okay. Craig Jameson.
Johnson, Craig.
Where are you, Craig? You got to be in the room to win, right? Is that the rules here? How, in Manitoba, the rules are you got to be in the room. What are the rules?
Yeah, you
You
gotta.
got to be here. It's like bingo. You got to be in the room. You're here? Oh, okay.
He was here. Maybe he's
Craig's not
outside.
here? Going once?
We'll give him a few minutes.
Are we going to give him some minutes?
We'll.
You guys are kind here. You're not like the.
Pardon me? Oh, okay, so he's not here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, he's not here. We'll redraw.
Oh boy, redraw. I'm not going to argue with some of these ladies. All right. Bev Blackwater. Bev Blackwater, are you here? Okay, hang on. Is anyone? Where are you? Bev.
Bev Blackwater, there you are. Okay, we'll do another $50 draw. So we'll do one more. We've got a few more. We'll do it periodically. Okay.
So that's it. As
What-
soon as your name's been drawn, it's done. It doesn't go back in the bucket there. Gotta make sure all the rules are clear. It'll be a fist fight. Okay. All right. Warren Brown. Warren Brown. There you go. Going on. Warren Brown. I'm sorry, my dear. Warren, you've won yourself a gift tech, but now I'm feeling bad.
That's Lorraine.
Oh, that's Lorraine.
No, this is Warren.
Yeah, this is Warren. Warren won. Okay, sorry, Lorraine. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. Now I feel bad. I'm going to give you a gift certificate.
Okay, we'll do a few more in a bit.
Okay, we're going to do a few more in a bit. All right. I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase or repeat. If everyone can kind of start finishing up their meal in the next 5 minutes or so, then we're going to get underway. We're going to just introduce ourselves in a proper way so you know who we are and why we're here. And then we're going to break you guys up into some groups because we want you to do a little bit of work for us tonight, coming up with some thoughts and ideas around education, okay? So thank you very much. Like I said, 25 after, we're underway. Hey, we're on our way to a dance, you and I, Lorraine. That's it. You leave Warren, you leave this guy at home. Murphy, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Murphy's going to stay home. You and I are going dancing. Is that okay? Hey? This is why I'm never invited back to communities. I get in a lot of trouble in communities. All right. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Now, I'm just wondering here, are we going to do are we just going to clean up our plates, or does someone come around and clean up plates? How does that all work? We should get those off the table, because I'm going to divide you up into groups. How does that work? Do I clear the tables? How does this work? I'm not sure what's happening. Hey? All right. We should try and tidy up the tables. But you know what? Beforehand, where's the gentleman who made our meal tonight? Where is that fellow? Where is he? Yeah, where's the chef? Is he outside? Okay, because we want to see all you folks who prepared the food in just a minute, okay? We got to give you guys a little acknowledgement and a hand. All right. So are we ready to rock and roll? Yeah? Okay. Hey? We're going to start right now. There, we're going to rock and roll, all right. Hey? You and me are going to rock and roll here. Hey? Hey, I'm not even sure what I mean by that. I got to watch what I'm saying here. After that, gosh darn, did all of you go on Facebook? Is that why you're here tonight? Because there was a terrible thing on Facebook yesterday. Apparently, it was a picture of me with my hotel key. And apparently, it was something to do with aunties and my enjoyment of aunties. So I just want to dispel any myths right now. And let you know that that's me completely. I have a hotel key, first person to get to me. No, I'm just okay. No, I better watch what I'm saying. I feel like some elders are going to give me heck. Okay, very good. Now, the other thing is, folks at the back of the room, if it's entirely possible, if you guys could come up to the tables, that'd be very helpful, okay? So please join us at the tables, all right? Now, folks, we're going to kind of jump into our presentation now. Is everybody ready to go? Yeah? Fantastic. Well, again, everybody, thank you so very much for coming out here this evening. It's really important. Your community, of course, has so many wonderful things to offer. I know I've been here for the last couple days, and I just want to thank you so much for all your hospitality. This is a wonderful place. My name is Robert Campbell. So folks where I come from, they call me Soupy, though, Soupy Campbell. And so by virtue of that, I'm a partner with a company called MNP. Some of you may be familiar with our company. We're a large accounting, consulting, and tax firm. But our real claim to fame in many ways is we do a significant amount of work with the Indigenous community of Canada, of which we're very proud and honored to be able to do some of that. And so with that, we've really come here today, and my colleagues are going to introduce themselves, but we've come here today with a particular mission. We've been asked by the community to help take a look at your current education program and really get a good handle on sort of the current state and look at some things that perhaps we could think about in the future to enhance education here in your community, okay? So folks, just a little bit about me. I've already mentioned it a little bit already, but I'm Rob Campbell, but in my language, Tansi, Robert Campbell, and Tisnakaswan, Minogizigawa Nuch. I'm from a northern Cree community in Manitoba. I come from a community called Kinoseo-Sipi, or the Norway House Cree Nation. So I just wanted to mention that to you folks. And again, I'm the National Director of our Indigenous Services. So all of these subjects are very important. But education may be one of our most important subjects. So very pleased and honored to be out here tonight with you folks being part of this conversation. I guess the other thing I was going to mention, just on that auntie note, I am actually married to a gal from Alberta, from the Frog Lake Cree Nation. Her name's Beatrice. Now, I'm not quite sure how the laws work. I was married in Manitoba, so I have a marriage license in Manitoba. I don't know if it extends past the border. So I may not be married in BC. I'm not sure how this works. So let's just keep an open mind, okay, all of us. I think that's the best thing in life. It's a good rule of thumb. Anyway, folks, just a little bit about me, and I'll chat a little bit more about that, but I want you guys to know some of my great colleagues that are with me here today. Rhonda, why don't you say hi to everyone?
All right. Thank you for having us. My name is Rhonda Ziakris, and I kind of work with this guy, kind of. I'm not sure.
Oh, she's so lucky. wish it's like she won a lottery. Can you imagine getting to work with me all the time?
Can you imagine? Yeah, imagine. So, my partner Jenna here, yeah, she'll introduce herself. But thank you so much for having us. As Rob said, we've been in your community all day yesterday and today, spending time at the school, spending some time in the band office. We have been welcomed. You have been gracious hosts. Allison, just a huge thank you to you and your team. And Blanca, thank you to you. We appreciate it so much. I've felt so welcomed. And the cook. Thank you for supper tonight. Thank you very much. We heard the word spicy, and that gets Rob all worked up when he hears the word spicy. So we'll just keep going. But like I said, my name is Rhonda. I'm a manager with M&P in Indigenous Consulting and specifically in education. My background and my first love is education. I was a teacher, a principal, an education director, including time in an Indigenous school, which just melted in my heart, and I'm honored to be working in this space. So thank you again for having us, and I will pass the mic to Jenna.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jenna, and I'm a consultant with the Indigenous Service Consulting team in Calgary, Alberta. I've been with MNP for about 2 years. My background is not in education, it's more business, but I've been solely working with Rhonda and another couple colleagues in the education field for the last year. So thank you very much for welcoming us into your community. You guys are very inspiring, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we want to try to get to know you folks a little bit, but of course it's a big room here tonight, so getting around to everybody when introductions and so on, a little tricky. So what we're going to do here, again, as I mentioned, we're here to focus on education. And we're here to focus on a few different items within education. Your existing school system, as you know it, and the other item we want to talk about is early education, so pre-kindergarten and what that looks like. So we're going to actually be talking about a couple of subjects, and actually we're going to actually sneak a third one in as well, because we want to talk a little bit in a kind of a blue sky way about what it might look like if you folks were able to have perhaps establish like a large multi-purpose facility. Okay, but we'll get to that a little later on. Right now, we want to zero in specifically on education. And right now, this is the kind of stuff that we're really trying to get our heads around as a group here tonight. Again, nobody knows this better than you. You folks live here. This is your home. I know education is important to you. That's why you're out here this evening. I just want to reinforce how important this is, even though I know we have a history, and sometimes a negative history with education. Many people have been injured desperately in the Indigenous world because of historical approaches to education. We're all very well aware of the residential schools, so we know sometimes in our communities we've had mixed emotions about this subject. And I'm not here to be on a soapbox, but if those of you who may be familiar with Justice Murray Sinclair, who was one of the Truth and Reconciliation Commissioners, he had a very profound statement. Some of you may be aware of it. You know, education essentially destroyed us in a way, yet it's education that will build us back up and make us stronger. So it's kind of a tricky subject sometimes for us in the Indigenous community. Having said that, our time here has demonstrated something to us. You seem to have a marvelous education environment. And I'm not suggesting it's perfect. Some of you are going to share ideas and thoughts about it. But I'm going to tell you, it is such a breath of fresh air. We get into a variety of communities, and sometimes things look far more dire. Things are far more challenged. And we've met people very committed to this process here. I just want to give a shout out to your principal, Allison. I know that you're changing next year, but a little shout out to Allison. She's been so gracious and accommodating for us, And again, we've seen nothing but passion coming out of all the people that we've had a chance to be with and interview and so on. So I think this community has a real, desire to make sure that the future is great. And part of that future is how we educate our children, how we prepare them for school, and prepare them for life in the world, right? So it's really important stuff. I got a chance to meet some great people. There's even some youngsters we were able to survey sitting right here, like Amelia. And of course, Eden was part of the survey, and lots of different folks. So we've just had a spectacular sort of response to all our questions. And of course, we've had just a tremendous insight so far. But to really cap it, we need the community as a whole to be part of this exercise. That's what we're about to do now. See, we're talking about how we can improve the delivery of education here. Everything is open for improvement, right? My big company's open for improvement. Your education system, everything can always be tweaked and made better. Things can become more contemporary. There's lots of dynamics and things that are changing in our world constantly. And how do we absorb that and bring that into our world of education, this example, right? So we really want to talk about how we can improve the delivery of education. And to do that, we really need to understand the strengths of your education environment, but we need to know the challenges. Because in order to tackle this, you really want to try to figure out what's prohibiting us or inhibiting us from having stronger education results, from having more of our people, achieve various levels of success. So we really want to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about those improvements in that future state, and we're going to talk a little bit, again, like I said, about early education and perhaps some other infrastructure like a multi-purpose building. So with that, folks, we're going to dive right into the work. And you're not going to get lectured all night, even though I talk for a living, as you can see. I want you guys to start providing us, because you know better than we do about your education system. You know better about your community. So we're going to divide you guys up into 4 groups, okay? I'm going to go through the rows, and I'm going to count you off 1 to 4, okay? Are we all good with this? When we've been counted off, Group 1, all the 1s are going to come over here to this corner. All the 2s are going to go to that corner. All the 3s are going to go to that corner, and all the 4s are going to come over here. Then we're going to give you guys some paper. One of you is going to be a bit of a scribe to capture some of these ideas. We're going to hand out some material for you, and we want you guys to spend some time as a group talking about some of these subjects. One subject at a time. We're going to start with the strengths of your education system. And when you're doing this exercise, and I'll continue to repeat this a few times, when you're in your group doing this exercise, when you come up with an idea like a strength, and I'm just going to go out on a limb, I know one of the strengths is Allison, right? When you come up with a strength like that, just put one idea on your notepad, and we're going to put them up on the walls, okay? And we're going to do an exercise called wallboarding, because what I want to see is, are you guys all thinking the same thing? Are you folks all kind of on the same page? And that's what we'll achieve here tonight, okay? So I'm going to do some counting off, and everyone remember, 1's in this corner, 2's over in that corner, 3's in that corner, and 4's over here. I also want to give a little public service announcement as well. Folks, later on, when we're done our exercise, Scott is at the back of the room, and he's with Contact North now, right, starting tomorrow. And so he has another survey, again, around his activities with Contact North and the educational activities that they're involved in. So later on, I'm going to encourage you to do that. But right now, I'm going to start counting you off, okay? Everything will make sense when we get rolling. All right, you guys ready to go? You're going to be part of this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Ready over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your numbers? Right? You got your numbers? All right. Remember, 1's all go to this corner, 2's to that corner, 3's over there, 4's over here. 4. You're going to probably join someone. 1, 2. You guys staying or are you paddleboarding? Hopefully paddleboarding. What are you doing, John? Okay. You're getting part of this conversation? Yeah. Okay. Where did I leave off? You're a 3. Okay. That makes you a 4. Okay. You're not. Okay. Same. Okay. So over here, you're a 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 2 right here. 3, 4. 1, 2. 4s are here. You're gathering. Okay. 1s. Anyone who was number 1, get over in that corner. Anyone was a 2, get in that corner. A 3, get in this corner. And a 4 over here. Okay? You sure can.
And while everybody's moving, we'll do 2 door prizes. Who is it?
There's no one showing up.
Tanya Gawa. Tanya won. Tanya. And second. I don't know. The second winner was Eunice Barnes.
Okay, all good?
House group 1, 2, and 3. You're all competing against 4. All right, even better. Okay, 1s are here, 2s are assembled, 3s. Jenna, does everyone have a felt? Everyone has a notepad. In every group, can you pick somebody to do the writing? Every group picks someone to do the writing. Who's going to do the writing at your table? Okay? Okay? Get somebody who's going to be your note taker. It's not going to be a ton of note taking, don't worry. You've got a note taker. 3, do you have a note taker? Excellent. Number 4? Yeah, number 4 is going to do a PowerPoint presentation. All right. Everybody. Okay, folks, you're all assembled. You have your note taker. You're in your groups. And here's what we're going to do. And feel free to sit. 3, I like your enthusiasm. You're great. You can sit or you can stand. I don't mind. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take the next little bit. And I want you to look up there. And I want you to list strengths. What is strong about your education program? And you only write 1 idea per page. You could have 100 comments. That which would mean 100 different sheets, right? 1 idea per page. That's all you're going to write. So talk amongst yourself and talk about, for a little while, just talk, what are some of the strengths? Then start recording them. 1 idea per page. Go for it, okay? Talk about what's a strength in education. Okay? You got 1 little pad because I want you, everybody, you have 1 pad because you're going to talk amongst yourself and the 1 person's going to record it. So over here, as an example, what's a strength in your education program? Culture. Culture. You guys incorporate culture in your education. That's perfect. You're doing it great. Culture's an example. That's one. Okay? Perfect. Keep on going, everybody. What's another strength? Keep on going and write it big. Yeah, we're going to put it up on the wall. Write it big. Should probably only be a few words on a page. Write it big. Strengths. What's great about your education program? Everyone at the back of the room is going to be kept in detention. And then spankings. No? Okay? Don't be scared, you guys. Come join some of these groups. You have stuff to share. Come on, your prize draws are done now. Go join some groups, you guys. It's important stuff. Let's go, you guys. And you have many great strengths. This is just for your school system right now as it exists, which I think includes kindergarten through to grade 8 right now. But you can comment if there's things that your kids go away to school, if you feel that's good or not, that can be commented on as well. Okay? Okay? Yeah, high school. Yeah. HS. Yeah. Just put like an HS up in the corner. That means it's a comment about the high school. So everybody, you're really focused on the education right here in the community, which is K to 8. But if you want to make comments, K to 7, sorry, you go for 8. If you want to make comments in the high school, because that's still part of education, you can write HS in the corner. That means it's really a comment about the high school, okay? So we have comments about the two different school environments, in the community and those that go out of the community, all right? I got to keep yelling at you people. None of you are paying attention. All right, 30-second warning on strengths. We're just about there. 30-second warning, and then we're going to just put our pens down, and we're going to share some of the thinking from each of the groups. We're going to try and see if you folks are thinking the same thoughts, and if we can't start putting some of these together in a particular bucket or under a particular header. All right, everyone. That's it. Why don't everyone have a seat? We're going to try to organize some of your thinking, okay? This is how we are able to capture the ideas of the community and also try to determine the consensus on certain items. The bigger task is going to be around challenges because we know the good stuff, the strengths. But in order to improve a system, you generally start to look at where you're having a more difficult time. So this is a bit of a warm-up. So Jenna, Rhonda, can you actually start carrying all these pages over to a wall, okay? Folks, I'm going to show you what we mean because I know it's a little hard to follow sometimes. But if you can start to, combine, Rhonda's combining thoughts over there. Drugs and alcohol. I'm assuming that's not a strength. Okay, very good. All right, so what we're doing right now is we're going to take these ideas and we're going to start to assemble them together. Yeah, bring them over here. Let's all get to one central wall where Rhonda is, and we're going to start to see. I'd also like some folks from your groups. Can you guys also help out? Group number 3. Can you guys start taking some of your notes over to that central wall? Exactly. Thank you, my dear. Group number 4, can you also start grabbing your strength notes? Can you take them over to that central wall where Rhonda and Jenna are, okay? And we're going to help them find categories, help them put their thoughts together, okay? So grab these are the strengths over here. Grab these strengths, young fella, pull them all off the wall. We're going to take them over where those 2 ladies are, and we're going to start putting them into categories that all match. Grab one other person from your group. Feel free to get over there, okay? You guys feel free. Group number 1, start grabbing your strength ideas and start taking them over to the central wall, all right? Grab your great ideas, all your strengths, and bring them over to this central wall. Folks, trust me, this process will work, okay? So grab your notes, everybody from your groups, take them over here to this wall, and start putting them into categories where it's consistent. If group 1 said culture, group 2 said culture, group 3, all of those are going to line up as culture, okay? We'll just take a minute to sort that out. There you go, young lady and gentlemen. Take that over there to where everyone's assembling their notes and start sorting them into categories. Thank you so much. Okay? We're going to take a minute, then we're going to come back and we're going to give these things some titles. Because it's important that you know what your strengths are. Yep. Yeah. It's hard to, I don't, it's the mic, because the mic doesn't work when you're here, and then you gotta get sort of right up to it. Okay. I know, and I didn't really want to, hey, exactly. I feel like I'll get arrested if I start doing that. All right. Great job, everyone. Really good job, you guys. Hey? Oh, you've got lots of things here. Okay? So I'm going to let these, there you go. Okay, we're starting to assemble this. Because you guys should be able to very clearly articulate the great things about your education system. Okay? People. Yep. Great. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Folks, we're going to just kind of capture this. So if everyone can just give me their attention for a moment. So what you've done now, you've all had a chance to provide some input. All of that input's found its way to this wall, and it's very clear to me what you folks think are the strengths of your education program, right? Rhonda, why don't you tell them how you've bundled this now?
Okay, awesome. And it shows how united you are as a community, that you are coming up with similar words. And so what we've done is we've themed them really quickly. Like Rob said, we've kind of put them into separate buckets. And what is the theme that each of these words would fall under? So this whole section is about ideologies, such as belonging, holistic, flexible, loving. So they're words that are describing the school environment. So well done. And look at how kindness, leadership, caring. That's a great section there. The other one is staff. So great teachers. Allison. Great FN teachers. Local resources, again, EAs. And EAs came out a lot in our interviews. Your educational assistants are the heart of your school community members. So that came out a lot. Language and culture, that's a great list. So that theme is language and culture. And then programming, breakfast program, anti-bullying program, extracurricular activities, cooking club. And cooking club should also be applauded. The great cookbooks. My colleagues and I were all going home with a cookbook. That's fantastic. And then the last one is, again, centered around infrastructure, playground, the gym, that sort of thing. There's themes. Excellent.
Great themes. Great themes. So, you folks, you got a good handle now on strengths in your education system. You have all had a chance to put in your voice, and it's come out very clearly what you know to be strong. Now, this comes the kind of the more difficult part, right? Because sometimes it's a little bit hard because we're going to kind of open this up a little. We're going to unpack education a bit. I want you all to go back to your groups now, and I want you to talk about the challenges. What are the challenges, okay, in your education? Take some time now, one idea per page. I just want to know, what do you think are your challenges? Yes, you got to go back again. If we're going to go dancing later, you're going to have to get ready. Okay? Everyone back in their groups, take some time, and I want you to now think about the challenges with education. What are the things that are impeding you from having a better outcome, from having a stronger education program? And you already have a great one, but I know there's ways to make it stronger. But we got to understand, what are the challenges? Take some time. Thank you. kind of draw are you running here? Hey, exactly. She's just throwing her garbage now in the draw bucket. I don't know what's happening. Oh, okay. We're trying to do all the draws kind of together here. Folks, just take another minute or so on challenges, okay? Just a couple more minutes on challenges, and then we're going to do the same exercise. We're going to get them up on the board, okay? And we're going to start to delineate the challenges. But in the meantime, we have some draws. Ready to rock and roll? These are all gift cards? Okay. June, is that June Star? June Star. Holy smokes. June Tate. That's what I thought.
Tate.
Yeah, Tate. Why'd you say Star?
Because there is a.
Hey.
Why did you say star?
And why'd you put your phone number on here for me? Okay. This one has no name on it, so I'm going to call out the number. No name, so I'm calling out a number for this draw. Okay? Does anyone have ticket 696 6010? 6010, the last 4 digits. Right there? Okay. We got a winner right there. Okay. I got to tell you, I don't know if I'm having a hard time with Jarrell. All right, here's another draw, everybody. I'm sorry to distract. I know you're writing down challenges, but Jarrell, am I saying this correctly? It's hard. Jarrell, is that correct? Not here? Okay, sorry, Jarrell. Not here. Oh, they're just out there. Okay, they're not. I love this lady over here. She's got. Is that Kobe? It looks like Kobe. Even wrote an email on there and everything. Kobe's not here. Okay, those go to the side. What do you want to do now? Draw again? Oh, Diane's drawing back there. Oh boy, are we going to run to each other? Like in the movies? Hey. All right, Denise. Denise Wesley. Denise, are you here? Okay. Good. You are number 1. Okay. Was there another draw? We have one more. One more prize to draw for. One more prize. Why don't we save it to the very end? Is that okay? We have more. Okay. Well, let's take a little moment and then we'll redraw for some names. Those guys aren't here. Okay. Excellent. All right. How are we doing with challenges? Are we done? We're feeling good. We're way past. Team number 4 was done before we even did the other strengths. Is it too? Okay. That's it. Let's start looking at challenges. Rhonda, Jenna. Okay, teams, you see the board. Rhonda, are you working? Is that the new board? Those are challenges. See where Rhonda is with those pink ones? Can you guys take your notes over there and start assembling the same way under challenges, okay? Group 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your challenges over there, okay, where Rhonda and Jenna are, and start assembling them the same way. Let's see if we can isolate key challenges here in education. Take your notes over there and we'll get them all categorized again. Team number 1, are you going to take your notes over there? I think we need to take these over there. One of you fine folks. You're nominating me. Am I officially part of Team 1? Okay, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to co-opt this young lady to help me. Young lady, could you give me a hand? We're going to take our notes, gather up these notes here. I'll take the ones off the wall. Okay? Oh, she's not even in this group. Holy heck. Team number 1 really went for it. Sorry, team number 4. Team number 1's really coming out as a strong contender here. They wrote entire dissertations. Holy smokes. I think this could be our report here. I may just have to transcribe this. All right. Let's have a look over here. All right, folks. Team number 1 here. Ladies, I'm going to pass these along. That's team 1. Now, these are much more involved. All right, everyone. Just allow us another minute or two, then everyone's just going to take a seat. We're not going to do that kind of exercise anymore. We're just going to get some comments from you around early education and the notion of potentially maybe like a multiplex building, okay? But we'll just finish this exercise. We won't keep you a whole bunch longer. I know it's a beautiful night, and these are hard things to do sometimes when we're not used to doing them, okay? Holy heck, Team 1 is not giving up. They are literally, hey, they just keep on going here. Holy smokes. I think we gave you too much paper, that's for sure. No electronics during, so discipline, unrealistic discipline, closing field trips, accountability. Social media, probably there as well, maybe, you know. These things will have internet traumas here, big time over here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Team number 1's bringing in a late entry. Fantastic. Okay, folks. I think we're getting reasonably close. Rhonda, for the purpose of time, are you able to kind of categorize these a little bit now? All right, folks. Oh, hang on. We got lots of, wow, challenges. You guys really went for it with challenges. Strengths was good, but challenges is really coming out in a big way. And this is really important because this is how we figure out how to improve things. Okay? So what we're going to do right now, even though the exercise is still going on a little bit, Rhonda, would you be so kind as to grab some of the salient challenges as the tables have seen them?
Absolutely. Thank you again for your input. It's so important to hear your voice as a collective community. So we can see probably what's forming here on the far right are the themes of trauma, the challenges with respect, challenges with violence. So some of those, again, ideology pieces that are coming out probably the strongest. Then financial challenges, lack of financial funding, of course. This one is lack of retaining teachers. So staffing challenges. This would be community as a whole, housing, fire department, that sort of thing. This would be classroom-specific, unrealistic discipline, electronics, social media, that sort of thing going on. And again, programming, life skills, no daycare, having to leave the community for high school. So this would be programming.
All right, thank you, Rhonda. So folks, really appreciate it. I know these are kind of funny exercises to do, but you've been able to help us really, get to the heart of several subjects and items, because we've had a chance to do some surveys, we've had a chance to talk to lots of folks and do interviews, and all of this is really resonating, right? So it's very clear to us what your major impediments may be or what your key challenges are. Because like I said, just to reinforce this exercise, the way you improve something is you talk about collectively what are the problems or challenges, what are the hiccups or hurdles, whatever you want to call them. Only then can we know how to make it better. And when I look on that wall, because so many of you commented in certain areas, things even start to get to become a prioritization, right? So in that particular case, kind of under a grouping heading of sort of trauma of sorts, that's kind of a big deal. Lots of people are talking about those subjects, right? So this helps us identify areas of focus or concentration. Rhonda, Jenna, why don't we put that aside for now? We're just going to take a few minutes, folks, and we're going to pass the microphone around as needed. So I ask you to put up your hands. We're switching gears now because we want to talk about early education, right? Daycare, things of that nature. And we want to understand from you folks a little bit more about what your thoughts are on early education. In this case, we're not really going to go down this same exercise. I just want to hear from the crowd a little bit more about early education. Rhonda, do you want to help prompt that a bit?
So
Define
early childhood education, what we're talking about is, our understanding is currently in community, you do not have programming or a place for children from 0 to 3 years old. So you have Head Start, then you have kindergarten, but the community currently doesn't have that early childhood education component. Yep, excellent. So 0 to 3 years old. So what we're wanting to hear is feedback of, we can go down kind of what would be the strengths, what would be the opportunities within the community if that service was available, and trying to get that service going, what are the challenges? What are some of the considerations that we need to think about as a community if we want to start offering those services? So just 0 to 3 years old.
Yep.
We currently don't have programming for that.
So share some thoughts, folks. What are your thoughts? 0 to 3. What are we needing some kind of support in that age grouping? Yeah? Tell me a little bit about it. Who wants to share some thoughts around 0 to 3? Yeah. Tell us maybe an experience you had, or maybe you've had some challenge, like perhaps you are prohibited to maybe access employment because you have to manage childcare, or any number of things. Tell us about early education 0 to 3. Any thoughts, observations, anything? Go ahead. Here you go, my dear.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lorene Wiggett. One of the things that I feel that we don't have enough service and support for the 0 to 3 is more parenting classes and also more health and nutrition. Teaching, our young parents, how to cook healthy, nutritious foods, because, we have way too much, heart disease and all the other diseases that come, with the unhealthy food. You look at the gas bar right now, look on their menu, everything's deep fried. We don't have no good, healthy, nutritious snacks and stuff like that. And tonight was a really good meal. I'd like to just say thank you so much to that cook. But yeah, those are the two things that I wanted to just share. Thank you.
Excellent. So both kind of a challenge, not available, or we need more of that, and solution to boot. So that's fantastic. Go.
Hello? Oh, hello. Hi. Thanks, Lorene. Those were really great things that you pointed out. I also wanted to add that childcare and how unaffordable it is, and how there's not enough subsidies, and how there's not enough room, in daycares. There's apparently a waiting list for, you know, mothers who want to go back to work, but they can't.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do?
Oh.
I'm going to give you this microphone. This one seems to rock.
Yeah, so there seems to be, you know, a lack of daycares and plus, you know, the lack of subsidies for mothers who are, or single fathers who want to return back to work, but the subsidies are quite low. Transportation, and I just want to reiterate, I mean, the parenting programs as well, teaching how to cook and how to shop within a budget, and how to, like our cultural activities as well. I mean, a lot of parents are left out, and that has to do with like lack of transportation to getting out in the land, right, and doing berry picking and learning what types of medicine and plants there are, or even like getting birch, you know, water or mulgwas, you know, that you can get only in January. I mean, these are things that, you know, parents and children miss out on because of transportation, finances, and lack of supports. And also, there are, you know, children that have undiagnosed cognitive learning disabilities. And, you know, for people that are, you know, have children with cognitive learning disabilities, it would be great to have somebody who specializes in assessment, and then, you know, to provide that for like the whole community, like not only one day a year, but, you know, have it extensively, and also have that in the schools, right, so that there can be, the person can actually see the children while they are doing their studies and playing, you know, to assess them.
Excellent. Absolutely. There
And then, and then also to have supports, you know, for those that need the assistance, you know, with something like Jordan's Principle. Right. And then putting that education out there, you know, for those at Jordan's Principle. And if there are, you know, children that are coming in and, you know, they're tired and they're hungry, I mean, the first thing, you know, is to, well, I know the school does this, and I think it's really wonderful. You guys, they have the food program. But like off reserve, the parents get reported to MCFD. Right, and that's the first thing that like a non-Indigenous will do is, you know, automatically report to MCFD, rather than taking a look at solutions and what the issue is and what the barrier is. They get reported, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to stop here. Thanks.
I'm not sure if I want you to stop there. You are really rocking. That is a lot of stuff. In fact, we got to kind of unpack a little bit, right? We've touched on transportation, financial considerations around early education, assessment relative to their, you know, cognitive abilities and things of that nature. There was a lot going on there. Keep it going, folks. Early education. Tell us more about your observations, thoughts, considerations.
I really like those, yes, because, you know, being an ECE person myself, you know, it's really hard for some families, you know, to be able to go and say, hey, you know what, I need help, when they don't even know what they're wanting and what they're asking for, you know, so.
Yeah, up. I got to get it right up kind of close.
So I was saying that, you know, that instead of expecting the parent to ask for what it is that they need, like sometimes there's parents out there that don't even know what it is that they need. So having, you know, different variety of things, you know, and more sharing circles, you know, of all this, you know, like having people like Christine, you know, who is knowledgeable, you know, be able to come in and facilitate workshops and telling, you know, what services are available, you know, what are your struggles within your family. Okay, now, you know, how can we work, you know, the goals to be able to, just little baby steps, you know, and being able to accomplish and get rid of, you know, what it is the challenges are. One of the things that I was saying when it comes to traditional curriculum, you know, instead of, I think there's a Stein Valley School they have school all year round. And when the fish is running, they're in there, all the kids are in there, they're cleaning the fish, they're jarring the fish. And so during, the winter, they get to have, their traditional food, for salmon bake, for having just, lunch program, they're able to have, the salmon available. Maybe there's some kids that don't eat that salmon, but you know what? As long as it's available and they're looking at it and, it's in their school. So having traditional food preservation, canning, fish, food, meat, fruit, those kind of things while they're in season and while the fruit is there, do it, and being able to just make sure, I know having a set of twins and living away for 20 how many years, having my daughter come back and go into the smokehouse and actually, I was, ready to take the fish home and she says, Mom, isn't that going to be so heavy? And then she just said, I'll clean them, I'll gut them all, and so I think she gutted, in an hour and a half, 90 fish. Somebody who never even had done any of that, she was able to do it in no time. So those are the kind of things I feel that we need to get back to, the land-based healing, and practices, or our like holistic healing and wellness.
Outstanding. Can I just ask a quick question? Did you say there's a school in the... And that school, Stein Valley, and that school operates all year round and takes breaks for traditional and cultural activity? Very, very interesting. You know that a lot of environments around the world are changing their rhythm to kind of look like that, where school actually exists all year round. Don't get scared, kids. You still get lots of breaks. They just spread them out so kids don't go away for multiple months and start to forget what they learned.
The person that organizes and runs that school, she's actually Gitsan, and she's from, one of the neighboring villages. So isn't that pretty amazing?
It's amazing, and next time I go fishing, I guess I'll be calling you. I think your daughter needs to come with me to help clean fish. Okay, excellent. Who was first? Hands up. Okay.
I actually just wanted to comment, on what Laureen said. Back east, one of my friends moved back to his hometown, he's Ojibwe, and he shared with me that his parents, who are elders, teach the children in the elementary school on Ojibwe land how to gather, hunt, and how to fish, and how to preserve, and then they actually tan their own hide, make their own drums, right? And then, like, Lorraine said, like, work in the smokehouse, learn the medicines, learn the different berries, in the different seasons of what we gather in every month. So I support that. I like that.
100%. I hope most of us get behind that. That's a really important part of education for us. And these are great comments. Again, starting to reflect on that 0 to 3, because I think it starts there for sure and continues right through life, right? So really important. Now over here, my dear, go for it.
Building off of everything that's been shared, I think that a really popular program that already exists here is Starting Smart, and being able to take something like that and indigenize it and make it and have it have Gitsan components to it. Like, they do some of the pieces around teaching folks how to can and sharing some parenting skills, and it's very informal. Being able to have something like that in the village. I think another really good idea to build community among children, and more specifically among parents of young people, because it's incredibly lonely to have small children, is being able to travel to other communities, like to travel even to Hazelton or to Kitskukla or Kitwanga, and meet with and join up with other parenting groups in those areas too, so that we're building community and we're building parenting capacity with each other. And then within those spaces, having time where there are childcare providers there that will watch children and give parents a little bit of a break. Yeah, and I think that, like, if there was, I found it really overwhelming when I had my kid. Like, I already had 2 kids and then I had one of my own. And it was really overwhelming to know what I had to do and where I had to go and what services to get, thinking about the assessments and things like that. Like, I feel like I lucked out in lots of ways, stumbling into some of the different community organizations or programs that offered those. But I was also off reserve, so I didn't have something like the health station where hopefully they have a lot of resources there that are up to date with what's available in community.
First of all just fantastic contributions, ladies. Those are all just great. And that piece you just spoke of, you know, something we take for granted in other environments like large urban centers. That notion about mom being all alone and not having groups and abilities to kind of get together, that's huge, because that's available in lots of other places, right? You know, Mummy and Me and going to swim class and all that. Fantastic. That's a big deal. Oh, fantastic. Over here. Yeah.
Hello. I haven't had kids of my own, but I've spoken with a number of my friends who have had numerous kids. The 0 to 3 years old, is it actually going to be, is it maybe more like a 1-year-old to 3-year-old? Okay. And what is, you're putting them into a daycare or?
We're asking you, what do you folks think?
No, but what is the ratio of a worker to how many kids?
Good question. I know that there's 2 types of daycares, and it kind of differs depending on whether it's a private daycare or another type of daycare. Rhonda, do you actually know worker to child ratio in a daycare? Because it's about, I was going to say, I think it's about 5 or 6, too. Right? Correct. Yeah, it's about 5 to 6 per 1 worker. Okay? But excellent. Now, do you want to make a comment? Excellent. Oh no, now you're feeling you're on the spot. You don't know what's happening. We're just talking, of course, about excellent. You know the ratios. Fantastic.
So the ratios for a certified ECE would be 8 to 1. So me, I have my certificate in ECE, so I'm allowed to have 8 in my care. And in our program at the Head Start, there's 4 of us, but you don't include the cook. So in our program, there's me, Tina, that's 8 and 8, so we're allowed 16. And then with our helper, we're allowed 2. So that's 18 we're allowed in our program, okay, with our certificates. But yeah, we don't include the cook. But with the ECEA, if we had that, we would be able to bump up to 5 more.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Excellent. Okay, you yell.
Yes, if they're struggling socially, then we have outreach programs, resources from Smithers. That's, what's it called, Deb? What? Yeah, Northwest Therapy. They will come out and do assessments to the children. But yeah, we do a lot of observing throughout the year, and then if we see red flags, then we would suggest it to the parents. Or yes, or vice
versa.
If the parents have any concern, they will let us know. We will observe for a week or 2, and then we'll go from there.
Very good. And and I think, I'm sorry, but I think what they're saying is they would identify, so if the parents were new and didn't have any exposure to this before, you folks would then be stepping in. So they would actually be monitoring those children and having a look and saying, hey, here's something that's of some interest. We need to look more into this. You'd inform the parent. So if they're a young new parent, they'll help identify, but maybe a more established parent would be able to identify it themselves.
But also that's where Ansbach Health steps in too, because we connect with them. So they will also see red flags as well, because you bring your baby to get all their shots and they do all the testing there. Can't hear me?
Excellent. All right, any other comments or thoughts? Holy smokes, I'm going to go right over here, and then I'm going to come back over here. This is very dynamic. I'm learning a lot here myself. I have kids all over the place, but I'm teasing. That's a terrible joke. My wife hates that joke. Here.
Just to let you know, I did not put my hearing aid in, and I do have a tough time hearing. So if you could speak into the mic, please, because there are times I can't understand. Just one sec, I just had to. I'm having a tough time with this education. I lost everything in elementary school. I'm not against anything, but I'm having a tough time just to sit here and listen to this and that. And in my group, I didn't really say anything, because I have friends that are same age as myself, and they didn't lose their language. I did. You use your language in class, you get beaten, like. Then I had my daughter in school. I don't know what it's like now. It's not that I don't have faith in the education and what's being taught, but to have my daughter get humiliated in class, she couldn't go to the washroom unless she had to say it in our language. And for me, I'm mixed with all this. And I'm having a tough time sitting here listening to everything. And my daughter, when I say she was humiliated, she wet herself in the classroom because she couldn't say, I need to go to the washroom. It's just hard. Really hard. I'm having a tough time here to breathe, think. But I have my son here. His daughter, I mean, that's a good thing. His daughter comes home and she's Cree. and she's learning the language. When they lived with me, she'd come home and tell me to say a word. So that's been a big change right there. That, you know, I just hope that's not happening still. I really hope. Because what I went through and my daughter went through, I don't know. But my son, his daughter, is going to grade 8. She knows some language of our culture and everything. But I just thought I'd share that. I'm having a tough time here. I want to go home, but I want to learn more. And I really like hearing everything and what people are saying, our traditional stuff, that our children do need to learn that. But my mom taught me all that. And her mom, or the one we used to call Granny, taught her that. So it's all based on family thing. And my auntie there, Lorraine, I go to her smokehouse and I'm learning how to do fish, dry fish. It's a learning process. But you see me break down or something, you'll know why. Thank you.
I really appreciate that, and I know this is a really hard subject. As I mentioned earlier tonight, you know, education hurt us in the past, and it took a lot away from all of us. My wife's 3 generations of residential school. I see it all the time. It's very hard on many people, so I appreciate you sharing that. Yes, I appreciate that.
I'm a residential student, and I went to Edmonton. And we got beaten for speaking our language. They cut my long hair off. And if I don't eat what they put in front of me, I starve. And they put the same food in front of me again at lunch and at supper. I wouldn't eat it, or then we go to bed starving. And when I came home to Kispiox, people were using their own language, and I didn't know what they were talking about. So a lot of that has come up, and I suffered for that. I got beaten for speaking my native language, and I got home, I got beaten for not understanding what they're saying to me. So you can't win one way or the other. So I had to share that.
And thank you. And I think the lesson in all in this, and I'm coming right over there, is we have to be very aware of that. And I hope in our communities, and I know in yours, I bet, Al, be aware that, you know, there's lots of trauma and history to education. And then when we talk about our cultures, many lost their language and culture. It's very hard on them. I know my own wife is the same. She grew up in foster care and in lots of different challenging circumstances, and she's so sad today because she can't speak her language, doesn't know her cultural activity. You know, I understand it's a very hard subject. To some of you, it was the most painful thing. And to others, it's something to celebrate, and it's your future. So it's a tough predicament. sometimes we're in as Indigenous people, right? But it's important that schools understand that. There's no question. Let me get over here. Oh, over here first, that's right. I almost forgot about you. I know where I'm coming back over there. Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Becky and Lorraine. And you actually brought up something that's really important when it comes to the education system, you know, and particularly, you know, in the early years, which is more important, especially if they're like in daycare, is, you know, for Indigenous people to learn about trauma, intergenerational trauma, multi-generational trauma, and to learn about lateral violence, you know, and what that is, whether in physical, you know, violence, and understanding that's learned behavior, and it wasn't, you know, anyone who's, you know, Gitsan, you know, it was those that were leading those education systems, the colonial, you know, oppressive system, you know, intended to keep us down. So I think, you know, educating and teaching our Gitsan educators and ECE workers more about, you know, trauma, intergenerational trauma, and multi-generational trauma, not only for self-care, but also for the children who are being taught, who are in the care of, you know, the educators for, you know, the 6.5, 7 hours that they are in the learning institution. So thank you for addressing, you know, such an important thing. And I'm assuming that, like, everything that is being shared here is, you know, being, you know, gathered to develop a framework, right? So the framework is based on community needs and wants. And everything you guys are sharing here is going to go into the framework that's going to be developed. Also including develop research for ongoing funding of challenges and barriers that are identified, you know, by the educators and by the community and those involved in the education system, with a 2% increase every year. Influence, once this framework is developed, you know, then ensure that it's included in the curriculum of the elementary, and then even extended to the provincial high schools so that it's ongoing, and, you know, have Gitsan immersion.
Thank you so much. I think, where was the last? We're going to go one more comment on early education, okay? And then we're going to switch gears, folks. Look, this is obviously a very important conversation. There'll be time for more of this conversation, I believe, in the future, because I'd really like to spend some quality time there. You guys, I can feel the emotion in the room, and I understand it to a certain degree. One more comment over here on early education, then we're going to move on to a different topic, and we're going to do a couple of draws.
Thank you, sir. The reason why I wanted to speak tonight, because I've been listening all night to everyone that has spoke, and this one has to come out from someone that knows a lot about our village. I've lived in our village all my life, and I've seen everything that has happened. But for me, while I was growing up, and my other 4 brothers behind me and before me, we all went to school in the same school before the other 2 new schools were built. And the old school, we only have 2 classes that we go into. It's sad to hear, but it is true. My 2 younger brothers used to go off to school and I'd be behind them. And my other 2 brothers that are behind me, they were always at school too. And while we were at school, And my two younger brothers didn't know how to speak English at all, not one bit. And I was the one that used to speak for them. And there was other kids that were like that too, that were in the school. They didn't know how to speak English. But I picked up pretty fast on when they were speaking English to me, the teachers. And what had happened was, while we were in school, and one of us would be talking, and it wouldn't be me, and all of a sudden, teacher come from behind me and hit me on the head with a book, a hard-covered book, very thick. If it's not a book, it's a ruler or a belt they use. Another thing that they used to do was put us in a corner and leave us there until recess comes around, and they'd still leave us there until we were ready to go home for lunch. And then after school, before after school, and then they'd do the same thing. And if one of my brothers speak Kisan while they're in class, they'll be put outside in a cold hallway with no shoes on and no coat. And they would do it to other kids that were there too, the ones that didn't know how to speak English. And they couldn't answer the teacher because they couldn't speak English at all. And there was kids that I used to always watch out for all the time. That was my two younger brothers, and then there's other kids beside them. Because the other kids that have come back from residential school, they used to make fun of us. They say, "Hey, you guys didn't learn nothing, eh?" That's what they'd say to us. And I'd say, "Yeah, we learned something, but I believe you guys didn't learn anything. That's why you act the way you do." And they say, "Oh yeah, we did learn lots." "What did you learn?" I'd ask them. And they start trying to fight my two younger brothers, and I'd step in and say, "You better watch it. I'm not going to give you mercy on anything if you start hitting me," I said. "Because I'm going to fight for my brothers," I said, "because I love them so much," I said. "I don't want anyone hurting them." And I'd say the same thing with the other kids that were going to school there too. Always watch out for them. There were each and every one of the kids that were in the school, we were friends. We were just like this. We never fight amongst each other until these people came back from the residential school and tried to do that to us. But I wouldn't let it happen. And then that was a very, very unbelievable story, just like what Rebecca was saying about the bathroom. The teacher wouldn't let you go to the bathroom if you didn't go when you're out for your recess. They won't let you go out. But I tell the teachers that when I go home, I said, "I want to tell my mom and dad what you're doing to us." And they say, "Okay, you can go then." "Well, I need to go." I said, "No, I'm not going to back out on you." I said, "the way you're treating us. We're not animals." I said, "We're humans. This is a very hard thing to talk about, but somebody has to say something about it, because only God knows what was there and what was happening, because these people just won't back out on you. They will just continue doing it to you." And they were doing the same thing with my two younger brothers. I always had to check on them all the time. This is not just a story or anything, this is the truth. And I have a younger sister that was coming up too to go to school, and we used to take care of her too at school. We don't let anybody touch her or do anything to her because we loved her so much. My cousin and I, Marlene, her and I are always together watching out for other kids that are there. And Clifford and my other brother would do the same thing. They watch out for them, especially the ones that are not, well family. They were the ones that we look after too. I remember my mom always tell me, never look down on anybody, no matter who it is. Take care of them and make sure you see that they're doing okay. That's the teaching that they have given us while we were growing up. They give us everything that we need to know. Like with her, she always does her garden and fishing and moose meat and everything. And that's what we survive on in wintertime and other things. My dad's always working. And whatever she has a lot of food, she will give it to somebody else. She doesn't keep it to herself. God, that is part of my story tonight. May God bless every one of you that is here, that is listening. Because I know it's here. Because I know God is watching over every one of us each day as we walk this earth. May God bless you. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, folks, and these are important things to discuss. There's no question in our world, and it literally needs its own time and place for that conversation because it is so deep and so meaningful, and all of those pieces. Absolutely. Now, folks, I don't want to just quickly migrate away, but we don't want to keep you here a lot longer. And again, for anyone who attended a residential school or the offsprings of a residential school, my heart. And you had a day school. And the absolutely, and the day school, sorry, good correction. Day school, residential school, anyone who is caught inside of those assimilation policies of Canada and that particular activity, my heart just goes out to you all. It's just such a tragedy. I know I see it every day in my wife's eyes. Now, folks, we're going to switch gears here a little bit now. We're going to do a little draw because these ladies, this is for a backpack. You did the draws already, so you're just going to read out names, or you're just going to give them their prizes?
I don't know. So it was Scott, Conroy, and Dusty who drew.
Scott, Conroy, and Dusty drew the names, so they cheated. And there, look, it's Scott and there it is. Scott, Dusty. No, go ahead.
Lorraine, we get won the backpack.
Lorraine won the. Hey. Lorraine won the backpack. Fantastic. Okay. And Conroy, you see a bunch of cheating going on. I'm just teasing. Conroy, I know you didn't. Here's a gift card. Okay. And then Alexis Brown. Where's Alexis? You still here? There we go, Alexis. All right, let's get that sorted out. Now, folks, we're right in the tail end here now. You're not going to be here much longer. We're switching gears entirely, I think, essentially away from education. And now we want to just tag on one last conversation. One last conversation for the room, okay? And now we're going to move to infrastructure, like to buildings. It's my understanding that there's some thoughts being given, right? Maybe just a proposed idea about a multiplex, a facility here in the community that would have lots of different purpose. And we really just want to spend a few minutes now. What are your thoughts around a multi-purpose type building? Do you believe it's needed as an example? And if you did go ahead with a multi-purpose building, what are things that you think should be part of that building? I'm going to go over here and then I'm coming back here. Young lady, here you go. So your thumbs up. So you're saying multiplex. What would you like to see in the multiplex?
Like for early childhood?
Well, early childhood could absolutely be in there, but we are just talking now, we're not even talking early childhood and education per se. We're talking the multiplex, but the early childhood absolutely could fit in there beautifully. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to see early childhood, and like, you know how Gitamax has their setup? They have a daycare, they have the language nest, and a preschool program. And I think that's so awesome because it's all right there.
Fantastic, fantastic. Keep going.
And a bingo hall.
Hey, I can't agree more. If you don't have a bingo hall, you don't have a multiplex. Hey, who's over here? No, we're going to go here and then we're coming back there. So multi-purpose early education could certainly be part of it.
To have like a gym being part of it, mental health, addictions, alcohol and drug counseling, as well as a dietitian and, you know, medical, as well as, did I say medical and dental? If I didn't, I need to include that. And that's what I'd like to see in the multiplex.
Fantastic. So you are in agreement. You think this would be a good thing to have in the community? Excellent. Let's get over here.
Hi. The bingo thing can be held here. A multiplex. I'm looking at, I'm from the Fraser Valley, and they have lots of multiplexes there. One of the ones that I grew up with was in Maple Ridge, Haney. It had a swimming pool. There was a lap pool, and beside it there was a pool that was only 4 feet high. And that was for teaching kids how to swim. Their parents would take them in and they'd swim. There was a weight room. There was a physiotherapist room for people that needed like Pilates style exercise. And a physiotherapist was on duty to help with that. If you showed up with doctors, physiotherapists, paper explaining what your injury was, she would help you go through the injury with exercises. So my multi-purpose building would be more towards fitness orientated, treadmill, elliptical, things like that. Part of the physiotherapy part would also include a hot tub and sauna and a massage room in that too.
I like where you're going with this. I think you've got some great ideas here. So the multiplex, again, hey, maybe just help me with this, just in general, without defining it completely, but a show of hands. Are we all really supportive of a multiplex type building? Are we? Okay, so we got about, okay, pretty much most of the folks, okay? So that's great. We know that it has educational application, but many of you are speaking towards health. So if the multiplex existed, the theme of it would very much perhaps be around sort of healthy lifestyle, and it would really have that kind of purpose. No bingo. Or maybe bingo, not sure. Okay, hang on. I'm going to come down here first. All right. Is there a bingo tonight? No? No bingo tonight? What am I going to do? What am I going to do here tonight? Okay. Oh, we're going dancing.
Even though if we ask for that multiplex, do you think the government will give us the money for it?
Will the government give you the money? Sorry, say that again.
If we were to have a multiplex, whatever you call it, would the government help into that?
Well, that's a very good question that I can't answer. I would expect, and I'm just going to go on a limb here, I'm not speaking for your community, but I would think that the government will absolutely be a factor in it and would have to provide some resources. But you know, there's lots of creative ways to maintain a facility like that. I've been around several. We have a large one in my community, and you can start to get a variety of types of tenants in there that actually offset the costs of operations and so on. Lots of ways to do it though, okay? Because our just so you guys, in the multiplex in my community, for example, we have a radio station in there, which is a lot of fun. We have a hockey rink. We've got all kinds of different things in there, and they all feed into keeping that multiplex going. Allison, go ahead.
Just from me, for like having a building that will service community members, and probably most likely if it's going to have a daycare, it's going to have also off-reserve people as well. But there's so many red tapes around who Inspire Health can fund, whether they're off-reserve and on-reserve. So my dream of, and I tried to bring it at the school, was making sure that any service that we offer is offered to everybody that uses the building, because our community school doesn't just serve Kispiox members, it also serves off-reserve too. And so there's certain red tape around who Inspire Health can fund or who Inspire Health can do services to. So if we're going to do mental health, it should be open to all participants. So that's the struggle that I always have, is making sure that everybody has equal services in this building that people are going to use.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point. Absolutely, you want it to be open and available to everyone. Yes, there may be some aspects of programs and so on. No, we don't want it open to everyone. Sorry, so we do or we don't, or sorry, we got, here we go.
No, I don't think it should be open to everyone, because non-Indigenous have their own services where they're treated equally with equity and respect and compassion and kindness. You know, because when we go, like with Wrench Memorial, I was there today and I witnessed, you know, colonial violence against a Gitsan woman. And I was treated with colonial violence as well, and I addressed it right away. And I addressed it when I saw it. So I think, you know, if there's going to be space, it has to be safe and it has to be Gitsan inclusive. And that could be both for on and off reserve Gitsans. And also, I wanted to, to have traditional medicine pickers, those that make, you know, traditional medicine, that have the knowledge, because I deal with psoriasis, and they say that sap is good for that. But there's a certain way of gathering it and preparing it before you put it on, and using our own medicines. And also, if there's going to be like a medical component, then I would suggest looking at the Luma Medical Center in Vancouver, because they have been sought after for being the first Indigenous run and led medical center in BC. The Minister of Indigenous Affairs as well as the Minister of Health have actually consulted with them on many different occasions, so that there can be like real cultural sensitivity and real exercising of cultural humility. Because as you know, there's systemic and racism and discrimination in the health system, you know, that we face off reserve on a daily basis. And I really like this swimming pool idea. Not only for our health, but also for the children, and providing them certification courses, you know, and then for getting their medals, levels 1, 2, and 3. They don't offer that anymore in Kispiox Elementary School, I learned, and which is really unfortunate. And then providing lifeguard training, you know, for our youth, because then they can step up and be employed by, you know, this health. And also funding for, you know, this space that you're speaking about, ongoing but when the contract comes, like, is close to renewal, an additional 2% increase at all times. So making sure that there are negotiators that are at the table that can determine and go over the finances, you know, and to ensure that if there's more needed in this space, that there's statistics, and then that there's, you know, to support the request for continuum of funding as well as continuum of increase.
All excellent points, and that's exactly that's the stuff we do to determine how does this thing run for the next 30 years, right? So fantastic. Other thoughts, because we've really isolated medical, health, early education. That seems to be certainly what we're talking about in this multiplex. Any other thoughts around a multiplex? What you might like to see, what your thoughts are regarding the future in this facility should such a thing happen? Any other thoughts around a multiplex? Oh, sorry, who else? Me? No? How about some young people? You guys, yeah, don't hide. Don't be shy. What would you like to see in a multiplex building? If there was a building that was designed to offer a variety of things, what would you guys like to see in a multiplex? Arcade, like gaming stuff? Would you like a drop-in center for young people, a place where you could hang out and do some things? Maybe? Come on, you must have some better ideas here. Hey, think about it. I want to hear an idea a little later on. Something you'd like to see. Hey, rock climbing wall, that kind of stuff. Bowling. Holy smokes, this is going to be quite a facility. I can hardly wait to come back and go to it. Look at you. You've got the best sunglasses I've ever seen. Can you put them on? Put them on. Oh my goodness, I thought there was a movie star at the back of the room here. Unbelievable. You are beautiful. Those are lovely glasses. Now.
Yeah, I think having daily or regular language classes that are aimed at different language or like learner levels. And so, and specifically having immersion spaces where there's only Gitsanamuk or Samalga spoken, so that folks can really enhance their learning. Because Archer will actually go to and be a part of the first class of Samalga immersion at MGA next year. And so the original plan was for him to come to Kispiox, but with this opportunity, I feel like it's so big. And I'm really excited for this idea of Archer and my mom being able to sit and have conversations with each other, because they're going to grade 4 with that program. And so that's super exciting, and it's really exciting to see something like that in Kispiox too.
It is. It makes me emotional just thinking about it. I gotta tell you, since I've been here, the names around, I've been exposed to such great names. Archer, that is an exceptional name. I just think that's great. Holy smokes. Well, you can't cheat. You're not supposed to. Go ahead.
It's called collaboration. So when you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
Yeah, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail. I work for a hammer. It's horrible. Carry on.
My nephew's hammer. Don't insult him. The place where I'm at in my life, it would be very valuable to have a media center within a cultural center.
Beautiful. So I was going to ask a question, and I don't know whether this fits or not. Seniors, do you have a seniors facility here? No? Okay, just curious. Oh, and you know what I was going to mention to you? Do you know in our community, and sorry, I don't mean to bring up my community too much here because we're all very different, but in our community, we're fairly large. My Cree community is over 8,000 people, but we have a hospital now, but we have 2 pharmacies, Western medicine and traditional medicine. It's really awesome Because a lot of us grew up on, like when I was young, my grandma, she gave us all kinds of herbs, wheat case, Seneca root, things like that. That's how we fended off colds and everything. Amazing. Okay, go ahead. Oh, I'm going to go back here, then I'm coming over here. So we may just have to isolate a couple of you and have a whole day with like 3 of you ladies.
I would like to see courses on first aid, first responders, and junior firefighters, because right now our department is kind of depleting, and our first responders, we only have 3 on site at a certain amount of time, because most of our guys are working out of camps and out of town, but there's a few of us that are in town. And our department is actually depleting because we were at 12, we're down to 9. And I'd like to see like a course for like first aid for babies, for elders, and first responders courses coming up for the younger people to join and know what to do if something happens, because we're not always on hand.
Fantastic. And I completely agree. So many things have been referred to tonight, which I call like life skills. CPR, first aid, swimming lessons, all those things, those are really important skills and important for the community, important for individuals. Amazing. Having even emergency preparedness and plans of that regard, so you know how to deal with crisis of any type. Whether your internet goes down or whether you have a fire, you've got an idea what to do.
And then to also offer like mental health first aid. And survival certification. What I also wanted to add was having like a cultural component in the community center that where you have master carvers, Indian artists or Gitsan artists that will teach how to draw and how to carve, and then have, a section, where elders pass on public stories to the children, and then they in turn, share those stories, with their classes. And also including in that, that traditional department, Indian art, stories, dancing, the public songs and dances that we, have as Gitsan, and then, passing that on to their brothers and sisters. And I think that's all I have to say. I'm starting to get a headache. Thank you.
No, those are all absolutely fantastic. I mean, obviously a facility like this should embody your culture and 100% and should be a great, resource in that regard. I just noticed, I think there's a dog wearing a house coat over here. I don't know. I was thinking in the multiplex, maybe you'll want some, like a pet daycare or something. Are you wearing a house coat? What's he wearing? What are you wearing? A scarf. Oh, okay. I thought, boy, the dogs are treated very well here. You're not like my reserve at all. Our dogs are bigger, but we kind of are mean to them. Hey, you guys are just like a little baby here. This is lovely. All right, over here.
I spoke earlier about a multi-purpose building that was more fitness-orientated, health-orientated. But if we go with the cultural stuff and that, craft things, one of the things when we're dealing with cedar weaving in that, we soak the cedar. So you have to be careful because it gets on the floor and it can damage floors. So we could probably have a second multi-purpose building that is more craft orientated, and for the language and all that, and have another building that's more for fitness and that.
Absolutely. Dream the dream, right? It can be lots of things. So we have another comment over here. And folks, I think we're getting close to the finishing line here. So we'll go with one more comment here. And any other burning comments before we wrap up the night? No? Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. If there's anyone thinking about anything, if you'd like to grab a pad and one of the felts and write some ideas down, we're glad to hear them. You guys, this has been a robust conversation. You clearly are very enthusiastic of something of this nature. So let's, are we going to do a draw first before we're done?
Wrapping up soon?
We're going to wrap up in just, we're going to have one more comment on the multiplex, a few closing words, and that's it.
Okay. So one of the things that I wrote down and I submitted to the lady at the front there was talking about the two-eyed approach, two-eyed seeing approach. It's an approach that views the world from one eye with the strength of indigenous ways of knowing and to seeing from the other eye with the strength of the Western ways of knowing, and to use both of these eyes together. You know, I know that what Scott has at the Kispiox Academy is an amazing center. You know, I know with the first year being here, coming back and living in the reserve and in a community, going and taking courses, you know, and learning and knowing that I had to go and use more of my computer skills, Scott, you know, was able to line that up. They offer the, I believe it's the First Nations Technical Council. I think the only thing that they, how they hooked me was saying, oh, we'll give you a new iPad. Well, it's nice to have a new iPad, but it's, you know, another thing on how to use it, you know, how you can best use it. Well, that's where Scott came in. You know, he was able to help me utilize, and like, it's one thing having a computer, but knowing how to use it. And yeah, he's not even listening, but he's an amazing person. The center's open. Liz is the other person, you know, that, you know, is an amazing resource. And I know that they have another third person that just got hired from our community, and that's Elaine Stevens. So, yeah, you know, go to that, the Kispiox Academy. That's an amazing center. And, but wanting more for our community, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if the money's there, I'd like to know what kind of budget are we looking at. You know, I'm not trying to say.
And I think it's, you know what, in these situations, I think you almost work back. You dream the dream, think about what you want, and look at it from that perspective, and then start to figure out what does this mean financially and otherwise, right?
So then what I would say after asking that question would be then, you know, what I would want to have kind of like a healing center, you know, with, you know, a garden, smokehouse, vegetables, woodshed, and a place, you know, where you have, you know, traditional herbs and, you know, that people can go and grow and listen and just be able to sit, you know, and then even go into another room where you can have, use imagery, you know, where you're able just to meditate and do imagery. You can go in another room and lay down and use the amethyst crystals, where you can do massage and just have, you know, just laying on that bed of amethyst and being able to feel all the healing, you know, that can come with that. I believe something like that is definitely something that I can envision, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it right beside the river.
All right, Scott, do you want to give a little shout out on Contact North here before we close it up?
Sorry, I have to go and grab my kids, but basically there's two main programs coming up that you'll probably be interested in given this conversation. There's the ECCE certificates coming up, so if anyone's interested in becoming an ECCE, please give me a shout. If anyone's interested in any other training, please give me a shout. But the big one is Responsible Adult, which is a free course, and it's the first one you need to get into childcare. So if you guys want to be officially responsible adults, give me a shout and I can get that sorted out for you. I'm going to leave the leaflets here because I can't stay much longer. And if you sign up shortly, you get entered in a massive draw for $200 worth of stuff. So I'll pass it back.
Excellent. Thanks, Scott. Thank Contact North. Thank you, everybody. Folks, I think we're now at the end of our evening. Again, I really want to thank you. You guys have been great tonight. I know it's hard. It's a beautiful night, but that shows your commitment and your caring for your community. I just applaud you all. You've given us great input relative to education, early education, the multi-purpose building. And with that, folks, again, I'm just going to check with my colleague Rhonda. Any final comments, Rhonda?
No.
No. Say something.
Hey. I will say something. Thank you for your input tonight. Like Rob said, it's a beautiful evening out there. We're only sad we're not staying longer so we could go fishing, because that was, yeah, next time. We're counting on coming back. Next time we're going fishing. So thank you again for your hospitality. What? Oh, well, we won't say that we saw people fishing today.
All right, everyone. Thanks again. Thanks for sharing. And some of you who shared some very deep and personal things tonight, I really applaud you. I appreciate that you did. We cannot forget these things that happened. At the same time, we also have to move forward, and we've got to make sure we're cognizant of all these things so we can have a better tomorrow, okay? Because we don't want our little people, you know, always carrying the heavy load that some of you carried, okay? With that, get the heck out of here. Go. Oh, no, sorry, we got a draw. Okay, this is a draw. I'm going to come to your house and vacuum and paint the walls in a Speedo. This is a very strange draw we're doing next. Hey? Okay, I'm teasing. These are $200 gift cards? Is that three?
There's two. Yeah,
There's three? There's three?
Two
$100. Two $100 was having, okay. These are great. Jim Alexander. Jim, are you here, Jim? Oh boy, Jim, there's no mercy in this room, I can tell you that. You're dead to all of us, Jim. All right, pick another. If you pick your own name, what do we do? That's okay. Oh. Are you scared of bugs? Hey, really? You better come to Manitoba. You guys don't even have bugs. Man, you guys come to northern Manitoba, you blow your mind. Hey?
Oh, he's not here either.
Well, that's okay. Just keep drawing until we've hit one. How we doing? Should we be double checking? She could be just discarding. Charlie could be sitting right there for all I know. Ozzie Stevens? Ozzie, are you here? Oh, Ozzie, come here. Is Ozzie short for something, or is your name Ozzie? Hey? Osric. Wow. Hey? Man, oh man. Hey? All right, everyone. Give yourselves a big hand. Thank you on behalf of my... Oh, we're still drawing. How many gift cards? Oh my God, $300. Are our names in here? And when are our names? I'm just teasing. Okay. Leona Williams. Leona. Holy smokes. It's a lot of money here, Leona. What are you doing later? You got any plans? Hey? You want to go spend some money here? I don't even know what the cards are for. Okay, we'll be in a pool hall here, a dance hall. And Betty get... Oh, she's going to wish she never left. This is $500. Pick me. Pick. I'm with whoever wins. Come on, let's do this. Okay. Roger. Ridstad. Roger. Holy smokes. First time Rogers. Are you kidding? Is this your missus? Because you used up all your luck when you met her. That's why you never win anything. All right. Before I say this one last time, are you going to sneak more draws in, or do we say goodnight now? Okay, we get to say goodnight. On behalf of myself, Rob Campbell, Rhonda, Jenna, MNP, thank you so very much for your time and your patience. We appreciate it. Love you all. Be safe. Have a great night. Peace out. Okay? And there's lots of food. Maybe grab food on the way out. I don't know if that's what's going on, but take a plate. Make yourself a plate. All right. Archer, you have a great, great name. Is it too loud? Ah, okay, very good. It's loud on its own. I've never met another person named Archer. Your mom, Captain Archer. You better thank your mom and dad for coming up with such a cool name. Hey, you're like a superhero. That's what a superhero's name would be. Huh? Fantastic. That's so cute. Okay. Make sure you do your surveys, all that good stuff. Contact North, brochures, take a look.
What do you think of this?
Holy smokes, you're a good artist.
Thank you.
Wow. Let me have a look. That is so cool. What are you going to do when you grow up?
Just gonna keep on trying.
Keep on drawing. Tattoo, man. You should be a tattoo artist. Isn't that fantastic? Good for you, young fella. That's really impressive. Excellent. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So I just wanted to share something.
Share.
Can I see your drawing? Wow. Did you do that just tonight while we were sitting here?
Yeah.
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 You're really, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keep up that talent, okay?
Okay.
Because I bet someday I'll see your name up and it's because you've been an artist.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for showing it to me. What's your name again? Warren. I'm really happy to
Well, you
meet
know what?
Warren.
Another thing I was going to
Keep
mention
drawing.
was
You're going to be a famous artist, and I'm going to say I met you.
That's how that
Okay?
all came
Deal? Okay. Bye, Warren.
And as the federal and provincial government.
Oh, he's so sweet. We fly out in the morning. Oh, okay. Okay. No. We will. Don't hesitate. I have my special. Yeah. That kind of just go into a different category. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness, is it a pajama party and am I invited? I could be pretty fun. Like,
Mom, can you get a
fingernails and toenails and do our hair, maybe a little makeup here and there. Okay, never mind. Yeah. That's old school. Yeah. Okay. opened ones.
Yeah.
All right, thank you again.
Yes.
And we will be in touch soon. And it's not a migraine, like I told you, I'm not, but I've just had a headache for, even Allison, she's like, she mouthed to me, she's like, you're frowning, smile. I'm like, I'm not meaning to frown, I've got a headache. But, like I said, not a migraine, so it's okay.